privilege to be here today with Wendy and Pino, run through camp. Perhaps you could introduce yourselves. That would be the easiest thing to do.
So I'm Wendy Hewitt. I am the chair of the Renfrew County District School Board.
Pino Buffoni, Director of Education for the Renfrew County District School Board.
Can you just give a quick description of what it is we're doing here today for those folks who might not know?
So basically we're trying to define what we think creativity and innovation means to us.
We're also looking to build and learn from our organization around the amazing creative and innovative practices already taking place both in schools and in central departments. And then we're looking to ask a bit of a prompt, a question or a query around what are the conditions that will allow us to continue to be creative, curious, imaginative, and innovative as an organization, as a learning organization. And the most important word to me there is continue, because we know that some of that magic is happening in our schools already. We want to showcase that, celebrate that, and then learn from that, moving the organization forward.
So this is the third session that we've had with these group of people. I have to ask a question. Who are the people we're working with? Where did they come from?
So it's a very wide group of people. We have, of course, the director and myself, and we have a superintendent. We have teaching staff. We have people from human resource. We have our plant department represented. So it's a very wide variety of people. And no specific way that we picked these people. It was very random because we wanted completely different thoughts.
Why is it so important, do you think, to? I mean, a lot of districts might think, well, hang on a second, just a minute. Isn't this something that should be done by guided by the trustees or the senior staff? Why do you think it's so important? Why have you gone that route?
I think one of the reasons we went with really a fairly random grouping is to hear from all of the voices in our organization. I think there's a number of us, starting with myself, that have the privilege of being heard a lot, and I think the important part of this grouping is making sure we hear from all voices, and the randomness of it has really reinforced how important it is that we hear from everyone, and that there are seeds of brilliance in everyone, ideas emerging from everyone in whatever role and responsibility they happen to have. So that's really been part of the revelation for me, is that really we could have picked names straight out of a hat and we would still be here with a group of important people who are in the right place and space to share their thoughts.
That's a really interesting observation and a fascinating thing to say, Pino. So I've been fortunate to be here for these first, we're into our third session now. I have to say, we had no idea about what types of conversations were going to emerge, but they've been fascinating. If there were one or two things that you think you've learned or that have really struck you about this process so far, what would they be?
One thing for me personally is just listening to people's idea on what creativity means. I know my whole idea of what creativity means is completely squashed. I used to think of it as an artsy piece, and I used to think that it had to be brand new, but it's not brand new. It's thinking outside the box on maybe how to get to the end result. And one thing that I've learned also is it's very important to have a strength-based relationship building piece, and that's what we're doing here with this group of people.
Magic.
I would echo those comments. I think the revelation for me has been, I wouldn't know what some of the individuals here at the table would think were they not invited to share their thoughts, and that to me makes me think of the other thousands of individuals who are members of our organization in a multitude of capacities, and if I was able to tap each and every one of them, what I would hear, the new ideas, the reinforcement of existing ideas that Wendy speaks to, that I think is really exciting and inspirational to me. Everyone's thinking, everyone's learning as a part of our organization, and we're just tapping a small sample size, but it's leading us to grow in this way.
Wendy, Pino, I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you.